It's an incurable hanger at best. But I'm gonna hold your hand with a hazmat suit on when I say this. Diversity isn't a personal attack on white people. It just feels that way because you're so used to being the default.
When exactly are these people going to stop trying to be the victim so bad? We have a white creator here. She made a video, and what she said in this video, this is my first time hearing the claim that she's making in this video about black people. In her video, she said that black people stole racism. Like, I'm still trying to understand how black people stole racism. I have been looking for a full video. I said it before, but I think she had deleted it because even people who are stitching to her video, being very sarcastic to her, like in a way that, they are letting her know the point, but in a very sarcastic way. I noticed that TikTok took down their video. There are still few that I was able to get. I don't think the conversation of Kendrick Lamar is going to leave the streets of social media anytime soon because it's still pissing so many of these people off. She literally came online to say black people stole racism. Like, it's insane, you guys. I'm just going to jump straight into it so you guys can hear what this woman has to say.
Y'all, can you imagine if next year's Super Bowl is all white people?
Sniffany, girl, not today. We're tired. Why would you put yourself in this position? Because now I have mean things to say, and it's all your fault. There are several things that we could imagine. Imagine if your parents weren't cousinlings and they could stop kissing each other and your family tree wasn't a wreath. Imagine if J-Lo never picked up a mic and didn't torture the world with her vocals. Like, these are the questions that need answered. But we don't have to imagine if the Super Bowl halftime performance was all white people, because it has been. In 1994, there was the Rockin' Country Sunday Super Bowl halftime performance. In 2003, there was Shania Twain. In 2005, Paul McCartney. 2006, the Rolling Stones. 2008, Tom Petty. 2009, Bruce Springsteen. I could go on, but you get the point, right? Right. Also, I looked through your page, and you're a Trump supporter. I thought y'all didn't like DEI. Stinklebutt. What? But mind you, and this is the craziest part, so let me hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. There were white people all throughout Kendrick Lamar's performance. And I understand your brain is smooth as satin and your last two brain cells are fighting for 10th fucking place, so let me explain it to you. In the very beginning of the performance, we have Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam saying, "Welcome to the great American game." He wasn't talking about football. He was talking about how America controls us and plays a game, and how do they do that? With white supremacy and oppression, girl. That was created by white people. Further on in the performance, we see that Samuel L. Jackson says that Kendrick Lamar is being too loud, too reckless, and too ghetto. Who created those stereotypes? White people. We also see Kendrick Lamar reference 40 Acres and a Mule, a promise made by white people to previously enslaved black Americans to give them land and resources to help them economically. A promise that was broken, by the way. And also, there was a white dancer who hijacked their way into the performance. Mind you, the contract said you must identify as an African American. Taking an opportunity away from black people? Sounds about white. Now, these are just a few examples throughout the performance. There's plenty more, but I don't want to overwhelm you because it looks like you're hooked on everything but phonics and thinking might be a little hard. Just because you did not see yourself in the performance does not mean that you weren't there. Let me add a second napkin when I tell you this. Unfortunately, y'all are always there. Hence the reason why Kendrick Lamar needed to put this deeper message in the performance. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
And I'm sorry that you think you own racism, because you don't.
Did she just say people of color stole racism?
Y'all, can you imagine if next year's Super Bowl is all white people?
Yes. Yes, we can.
This year's Super Bowl had not one white person in it.
Kind of sounds like you want some diversity, equity, and inclusion, babes.
I mean, I personally thought the show was trash, but
And I think that whatever box dye hair color you're using is also trash.
I'm sure that I will get a ton of fucking hate for this video because I'm white.
Yes, and because you're loud and wrong.
White people can't experience racism.
I'm not certified and hooked on phonics, so I don't know how I can spell this out for you. Racism requires systemic power. White people have never been denied housing, jobs, or basic rights just because they're white. Inconvenience is not oppression. Discrimination and prejudice are not the same thing as racism, because that requires an entire system working against you, and that has never happened to white people in the United States. Think systemic barrier. Sorry, I asked you to think. It would be like if somebody made a law that box-dyed, tattooed, bad eyebrow, butch-bodied Karens can't live in certain neighborhoods because of the color of their skin. Like, it's so pale. I'm gonna get some sunscreen. That thing you're feeling, it's discomfort. The same level of discomfort that Donald Trump feels when the McRib is out of season. It's an incurable hanger at best. But I'm gonna hold your hand with a hazmat suit on when I say this. Diversity isn't a personal attack on white people. It just feels that way because you're so used to being the default. And I'm a white-passing Puerto Rican, so I understand privilege, but I also understand history. There's no such thing as reverse racism, especially in a system that is designed to benefit whiteness.
Can you imagine if next year's Super Bowl is all white people? Can you envision how much rage that will cause?
Why do you people have to make everything about race? I don't see color, brother. Daddy Trump won 2025. Woo! I thought racism was over. You want to be a professional victim so bad.
White people can experience racism.
Oppress me, Daddy. That's you. What happened to we live in a colorless society or whatever? Take some time off from not reading. You said, could you imagine if it was only white people next year and how much rage that would cause? I want to put something in perspective for you. As a white person, every single time you leave your house, you encounter white people. Every time you turn on a television show or a movie, you encounter white people. Every time you do anything with the visibility of other people and you live in this place, you see other white people. A black person can leave their home and not encounter another person who looks like them, since representation is important, and that's what your video told me.
This year's Super Bowl had not one white person in it.
A black person can go to the movies and not encounter a black person in a film. A black person can turn on television and not encounter another black person in that show. But that Super Bowl performance, that's the problem. Just say you don't like black people.
These people will never cease to amaze me, to be honest, because they will not speak up until we affect them. Like, it becomes a threat to them when they are not seeing traces of themselves in that gathering. Like, it becomes a threat to them. They are scared because it's something that has never really happened. It's not something they are used to. They are used to being there. When they miss the appearance of someone who looks like them, they have a problem with it. They are okay with DEI until they see a gathering of people without their own color. That is when problem is going to arise. Like, they are okay with anything DEI until it gets to that point where they can see that is facing them and directly affecting them. Let me hear what you guys think. I actually wish I could get all of the stitch that I saved, but when I went back to it, it was taken down. The sarcasm was having the laugh of my life. Like, it was so freaking funny. This person said they wanted to get rid of DEI and they are mad that it only had black people. Like, make it make sense. Like, they should be tired. This one said the way she thinks black people will cry about an all-white show. We are unbothered. Like, what do you mean? It has been going on for years. Do you want them to continue listening for you? Like, why people are so used to it? Like, it would be like just like a very normal day. Like, nothing is going to change. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to cause an uproar the way they have been screaming on social media. This other one said, let me say this loud enough for the people in the back. Black people don't care what white people do as long as they leave us alone. Please stop with the what ifs. We don't care. We truly don't. Another one said, it is so funny to me how they say stuff like this at the beginning as if that has not happened several times over and it is even still happening. It will literally just be another Sunday or even another fun-filled Friday. Like, nothing is going to change. And I really hope that this person is going to understand that it's really not that deep on black people's side. Like, they could care less. This one said, black people and other people of color basically live in a white world. God forbid we don't center white people in our life once. The last one I have here said, when we are in a climate where all lower and middle class are under attack, these are the people with the lowest survival rate because they won't learn from minorities that have survived different oppression. You know, they are threatened when they see black people do stuff on their own and, you know, even viral at that moment, like a great performance that is being like accepted, that is threatened if they can't see their traces in there. Let me hear what you guys think about this current video, and I am going to catch you guys in the next episode.